Hey everyone, Nicolette Anderson here. When you are able to hop on, go ahead and drop a comment or give some thumbs so I know that you can all see and hear me as I'm screen sharing my phone on my computer. So I'm just hoping it is all working. So I'm going to wait for just a second to see if somebody is able to hop on. And hopefully you can see and hear me. Okay, good. I see a thumb right there. Thank you, thank you. All right, you guys. So we are going to talk today about the topic of expanding, priming, and inviting your cold market, right? Be something that intimidates you. However, if you're like me, I am an introvert with social anxiety. And so the thought of actually going to and talking to and texting and getting on the phone with people that I know in real life was absolutely terrifying to me. So for me, playing on social media and being able to, have conversations with people from my phone, from behind my computer, was actually really fun and freeing. And I love it. I love being able to grow my community, expand my market, and get to know people who are me, same life phase as me, same hobbies as me, because I wasn't ever able to do that before as somebody who is not a social butterfly. So I really love the fact that we get to connect with and engage with other people that we don't know yet, and we would guys know if we weren't doing the job that we do. So I'm going to give you my top tips for priming those conversations and relationships to invite, to expose them to what we have to offer here. And then I'm going to give you some tips to think about, because I know we're kind of in a weird place right now with the coronavirus, with social distancing, with just so much swirling around in people's heads. You might feel like, maybe I'll just be quiet. Maybe it's not the right time, but I'm here to tell you now is a better time than ever to connect with and help and support other people out there through social media, because they're all home and by themselves anyway. So let's first start with expanding and tracking, okay? I'm obviously sharing my screen right here, so I'm gonna give you a little behind the scenes of my actual Instagram and how I set things up so that I am efficiently expanding, never scrolling Instagram, and how I stay organized with the people who I really, really want to invite. Not just anyone that I hope will say yes to coaching, but the people who I really would love to have as part of my team. So tip number one, if you're feeling overwhelmed with knowing how to even start expanding your market, because there's so many options, you don't know how to start, so you end up scrolling, or you're just following a ton of people, not really being strategic, and then you're like, oh, well crap, now I don't even know who to invite or where to start in terms of connecting and having conversations. You've got to get really clear on who your niche market person is, okay? You've got to know what their pain points are, what accounts they're following to seek entertainment, to seek information, value, different spots that they love to hang out or unwind, online popping up everywhere, online boutiques that they like to shop at, whether they're online, maybe they're local boutiques, different restaurants, bakeries, coffee shops, a wine bar. This way, when you're targeting these specific things on Instagram, you're not going to waste your time trying to just scroll and hope that you come across somebody that looks like they would be a dream team person. So I'm going to give you an example right now. We have a place called Sprinkles Cupcake ATM in Tampa. So if I went to Sprinkles Cupcakes, I can see this actual page is really big. right? It has 650,000 followers in it. This is actually the California location. So this would be really hard to go in and say, oh, I'm going to find my niche market people here. But what I could then do is go to the actual geo spot of the Sprinkles Cupcake ATM in Tampa. Okay, so now you see down here a little bit, you're gonna see there's the Tampa one and there's the Orlando one. So I'm gonna go to the Tampa geolocator, and then now you're gonna see top posts, okay, from people who have checked in. Now likely, since these are top posts, these people have a lot of followers. So I'm just gonna choose this person here, Her Life Rules, okay? So it looks like she's probably some sort of blogger. So I'm going to go to her profile. Yeah, like to know it. So she is a fashion blogger. So now through this Sprinkles Cupcake ATM located in Tampa, I found a fashion influencer where, probably judging by her profile, like this transformation photo, she's a mom and she is loud and proud, loving her mom bod and showing off different bikinis that she's finding at what looks like Target, maybe. And so this would be a great account that I can then save in a collection. So what I would do is I would tap this little flag right here, save to collection, and then save. See down at the bottom, I have Target followers, okay? So I would save her to that. And now when I'm going to expand my market, I have this awesome local mom who is a social influencer for clothing, a fashion influencer, and I could just go into her recent posts and target people who are liking and commenting on these posts. Like this would be a really great post for me to go in and target. Because this is probably going to be a lot of other moms who are like, oh, this is so inspiring. Oh, she looks great in that bathing suit. Oh, wow, look at that pregnancy transformation. Does this make sense, you guys? So now I can come through and I have a much more niched down selection of people that I can just go through and start to do the following process with, right? And so that's a way that you can be more strategic and quick when it comes to finding your target market. So let me show you the collections that I have in my Instagram here. So you can go, I just showed you how to create a collection. So when you go to look at your collections, you just go to saved right here. And so I have a whole big collection of larger niche market accounts that I can then go and target. A lot of them are mom bloggers, larger teacher accounts, fitness people. I'll even target, if Instagram targets me with some stupid whey protein that's way overpriced, I'm going to go and target them because I'm going to save these people and be like, listen, stop wasting your money. You need Shakeology instead. So I have my whole target followers collection so that when I am expanding, I'm not scrolling or wasting time. I'm going directly to this folder and then going and following and finding my niche market on the recent posts that these larger accounts are posting and sharing about. And by going to recent posts and targeting the people who are currently liking and commenting, you're finding engaged users, not just people who happen to have an account on Instagram, who maybe haven't posted or logged in 3 years, but you're finding engaged users who are interacting and being a part of the actual Instagram community, which is what we want, right? So that's tip number 2, is create a collection on Instagram of the people who you are wanting to target. Next, while I'm doing, I really pay and find dream team individuals, okay? Not just people who you're like, ooh, that would be great if she could join my team, but people who you would want to invite to your daughter's 5th birthday, people who you would have over for Friendsgiving. That's how picky and specific that you want to get. So I have, my dream team people, and when I'm going to prime and spend time connecting with individuals, it's going to be from my dream team collection, okay? So these are people, again, who you would love to have on your team. You could picture them going on your retreats with you, going to the Success Club trip, and coming to your kid's birthday. Because honestly, all the leaders on my team and the people that I work the closest with, we're like freaking sisters at this point, because that's just how close we've gotten. Your collection is called Inspo accounts. Do you recommend staying within a specific number of followers for this account, like under 10K? Katie, that's a good question. Usually, I mean, you have to kind of feel it out. Like, you could get really lucky and somebody who is super influential already might finally think, shoot, yeah, I would like to do this. So I wouldn't limit number of followers, but you have to understand that if you are going to inspire them to join your team, you better be on their level. Do you know what I mean? So your branding, your content better be like on their level so that they'll actually consider it and take it seriously. Because unfortunately, people who are already really established on social media tend to be kind of snobby about it. And they're like, oh, why would I, Beachbody coach, why would I want to do that? But if you get really good at your brand and your content, I don't think your following matters, but your branding and your content, and they can pop over to your page and be like, wow, this is really inspiring. She's really awesome. You know, I could relate to her a lot. I think that's what's important. So, you know, I wouldn't discount anyone, but what I typically do is if there is somebody who has a super large following and I am just like obsessed and want them on my team so bad, I will still go through the conversation process and, you know, and if they ignore me, it's just not happening, then I switch them over to my target followers photo. And I'm like, okay, then, so you're not on my dream team anymore, but I'm going to target your followers. So that is expanding and tracking. So now you have your collection of people you're going to target and your dream team. So next, we're going to move on to the priming part of all of this. So this has to do with actually taking the time to connect with them, to add value, to relate to their pain points, to give them compliments, okay? So when you're doing networking, when you're sitting down to actually work your social media business, right? You want to be strategic and not just waste time, again, scrolling your feed and kind of just, sorry, my phone keeps going off, and kind of just commenting on whatever pops up just because you're trying to comment because the networking hour tells you need to comment to, you know, boost your affinity on Instagram. You can be strategic. So when I am doing my networking hour, I am specifically focused on my dream team people. I am going in. I am watching their stories. I'm responding to any interactive tools that they're using in their stories, their polls. I'm loving on their recent posts. I'm asking them questions in the comments and building the relationship that way, right? And then when you start to get to know these people, which, I mean, that's what we do. We get to know each other through our actual social media. You can use their what they're talking about and their voice to kind of inspire different ideas that you can then share to continue adding value to your niche market. And in that, along with the, you know, complimenting, connecting, showing up in their stories, another tip is when you do sit down to do that, that's going to be your best time to post, okay? So if you have a post queued up for that day, and you're like, ooh, I wonder what time of day is best to actually share this. It's not a specific time of day. It's when you are going to sit down and engage and interact around the same exact time that you actually post. Make sense? So you have a new great post going up. You're super excited. You hope everyone sees it today. But if you post it and then you dig into your dream team and you're complimenting, you're connecting, you're watching stories, guess what? They're likely going to come back over and reciprocate on your page and see that recent post that you put up that you're super excited about, okay? And you can use their recent content to kind of inspire your content. Like, for example, if you see, you know, a fellow mama talking about, you know, a pair of shoes that she's dying to buy, that she's saving up for, maybe your next seed about coaching is talking about the new Nikes you treated yourself to with, the weekly paycheck you earned from home. That way you're speaking directly to pain points that they're literally telling you about in their posts and in their stories. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so that is the compliments adding value. If you're that consistent notification that's popping up in their Instagram, it's way more likely they're going to come over and follow you and give a crap about what you're sharing about and saying, rather than saying, this person's on my dream team, I'm going to put them in this folder, and then when I get brave one day, I'm going to copy and paste a cold market invite and then hope they say yes. This obviously takes more time and effort, but I think you're going to find you get a lot more interest and you feel a lot better about it doing it this way. So let's see, I'm going to give you guys an example here. So in my 2020 dream team, I've got my people. So like this one right here, this mama holding her baby, she's newer, recently added her to my collection. So you're going to see, like when I go to her page, I'm going to be loving on all of her recent pictures. I'm going to be, showing up as one of the comments on her pictures. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm watching her stories. And if there's anything that I can relate to and connect with, I'm going to respond to that story or interact with whatever the story is. So today she was out with her sister talking about how her sister's the best aunt in the world. So, I can't freaking wait to be an aunt. And I hope my brother would just step on it a little bit. He's been married for 2 years now. So I just responded to that story and talked about how I'm excited to be an aunt too. And just starting a conversation like that, you're more likely to get feedback and go back and forth a little bit. And then you can send out an spending a little bit of time connecting with the individual on another level. Now, you can also use, like I said, their content and what they're talking about as a way to inspire yours. So what might be a good idea? Like, obviously, my niche market is, moms of small children. We love Target. We're home all day with the kids. We don't get out much. We look forward to girls' night out desperately, but it never happens. And so, a story that might be fun and engaging for these types of moms would be, maybe since everyone's home right now, nobody's out shopping, so maybe doing a this or that using the Target website, because bathing suits are BOGO right now. So here is a little example of a story I thought my niche market would really enjoy today. So I saved some screenshots of bathing suits and activewear shorts from Target. So maybe I'll do a couple slides saying, oh my gosh, bathing suits are buy one, get one 50% off at Target. Which one should I get my daughter, this or that? And get people engaging my stories. Which one should I buy for myself, this or that? Which two of these awesome activewear shorts would you rather have, this or that? And get people engaging and interacting in my stories, and then jump on, after we've talked about which activewear shorts, jump on. Oh, by the way, you guys, oh my gosh, so I got the blue activewear shorts, and I have to tell you, I'm so excited about my upcoming online health and fitness challenge that people are going crazy over right now because nobody can go to the gym. So if you want more information on that, go ahead and send me a DM right now. I've even got free workouts you can do at home this whole entire week. And that's a way to just get interaction in your story, add value, get conversations going. Now, talking a little bit more about, what's going on right now, especially with, the virus and everything like that. People are nervous, right? They're home, they're isolated, but they're not just sitting there chewing on their fingernails. They're looking for tips. They're looking for home workouts. They're looking for, different ways that they can live their best life through all they're what to do with their kids. They are home, but they're not bored, and they're looking for something positive and supportive. So you have the opportunity to be that person. You can be that light for them. You can share your story. You can inspire. You can share workouts. You can talk about what you're doing with your kids. There's so much value that you can add during this phase that we're all kind of stuck in right now, okay? And don't feel like it's not a good time because of everything that's going on. This is an amazing time to expose people to something that can change their life. Even if it means, leading with a free workout or a free group and playing the long game as you help them one way or another. The key is to just not let anyone fall through the cracks and meet them where they're at, okay? So now we're going to talk about actually sending the invite. Oh, somebody's at my door. Okay, thank you. Good, he just left it there. No, you may not come in, you germ bag. So now we're going to talk about sending the actual invite. You're offering free value, okay? I never feel bad about inviting people. I feel like I'm doing them a favor by saying, here, let me expose you to something that can change your life and then offer you free information, no obligation to learn more about how this might have a positive impact on you. And remember, even after you send the invite, even if they say, yes, send me the PDF, yes, add me to the sneak peek, yes, I want to watch the webinar, it's very unlikely that people are going to jump back into your inbox immediately and say, oh my gosh, I watched it, I'm ready to sign up. The fortune is going to be in the follow-up. Now, I'm going to give you guys some conversation tips because sometimes I know for me, it helps me a ton to work from a list. So obviously, you're going to have your 2020 Dream Team list. If it helps you to write them all out and say, I have a goal to invite these 20 people by Wednesday, and then cross them off as you get to the invite, do it. Do it. Hold yourself accountable that day. But another thing that helps me is to have conversations and scripts saved. Now, I don't like to use script. I like to have some sort of inspiration sitting there that I can just kind of use as, a way to help me without having to use too much brain power, invite somebody. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm going to click on Jessica right here. She's already an awesome coach, but I'm just going to use her as an example just in case I accidentally send one of my scripts. So on Instagram, they do have the little conversation thing back, which is nice. So these 3 dots right here, your quick replies. So I have one saved for every single new follower that I connect with, like, hey, thanks for following along. I'm glad we could connect here. What's your story? And then I have one saved for if somebody says, hey, tell me more about your challenge group, or what do you do to get results? I've got a challenge group invite. And then I've got my coaching one. Okay, so this one I'm able to customize. Whoops, that was the wrong one. I'm able to customize, so I just kind of leave some blanks. Now this is for my Dream Team people. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is for my Dream Team people that I have been watching, that I've been connecting with. And this is just how I can get the invite started. So, hey, and then I say their name. I hope your week is going well, all things considered. I'm not gonna be like, hey, hope you're doing great. Of course nobody's doing great. It's a weird time. So, you wanna adjust anything that you are using so that it actually makes sense right now. Anyway, I wanted to pop in you because you dropped a heart on my post about coaching the other day, so I took the liberty to creep your account. Have you ever considered doing what I do as a coach? I think you'd rock at it because, and then this is where you take what you've gathered about them, what you've learned about them, and explain to them why they would be totally amazing at this, and then give them a chance to grab more information from you totally for free. Another script that I use, and you see these aren't scripts, these are more like guides, just to keep the inviting flow going instead of sitting here thinking like, oh, what am I going to say? How am I going to invite? Well, I don't even know how to do this right now. Why, brain? Why? Here's another one. Let me just cut to the chase. I know I've been loving on your account lately, but I'm obsessed. And they can insert. What are you loving about them? What are different ways that you feel like they would be an amazing coach, influencer, support system for other people out there? And then let them know, I think you'd be ridiculously awesome at doing what I do as a health and fitness influencer. We'd have fun working together, making money, blah, blah, blah. What are you thinking? Can I send over more information? Simple as that. And so these are just little customizable scripts that I have saved so that when I am in the mode where I'm like, okay, I've been priming, I've been getting to know, I've been prepping these relationships. Now it's time to send the invite. This kind of makes it a bit more simple and keeps me on track with pushing send and just sending the invite, okay? And then again, you've got to remember that even after the invite is sent, even after they say yes to wanting more information, the follow-up is what the most important part is. Checking back in with them. Were you able to review it? What were you most excited about? What questions do you still have? Until you can get that yes, I'm ready, or no, not right now out of them, okay? So go start your collections, start priming these people, and there isn't a right or wrong answer to how long you need to prime the conversations, the relationships. You could talk to somebody back and forth today and be like, oh, I freaking love them. Like, we got a good thing going. I'm going to send this invite tonight. Or maybe it's going to take a couple of days, right? But you are in a push season, so hustle, hustle. Don't be afraid to expose people to something that's going to change their life. And what's there to lose? You have lots of new amazing friends online while we're all stuck at home. So there's that. Okay, guys, any other questions that you have, feel free to drop them in the comments. And I'm pumped for you to all invite your dream team people over the course of the next week as you grow and expand your businesses. And let me just tell you, there's nothing more exciting than getting real, legit business builders on your team working the business with you. It's a game changer. It's a game changer in your hustle. It's a game changer in your paycheck. So work really hard to find those people.